Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. My name is VeerajaR.
And I'm Sandy Coomer. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. Our first poem is Wild Lily by Lydia Esmer. With a confidence contained, not gaudy, she sat, waiting pleasantly, in the lounge of the tempting tree, her dress up to there, and red, strappy boot spikes piercing the air. She sparkled from glitter applied liberally, but her trade was betrayed, most assuredly, by the flower adorning her shoulder-length hair, a white, fully ripened lily. Because it's the eyes that mirror the soul, her eyes were my goal instead of her clothes. Approaching this barely 19-year-old, armed with only hope's ardor, she returned my gesture more than twofold. Were not angels, by artist's design, given to such radiance without costly cosmetic applied? Her entrancing smile eased from me a remark, well-meaning, without guile. Dear one, you are so lovely. Surely you'll get by, following the master, and you'll taste the sweetness of honey. I know, was her reply in dulcet tones, softly. My father is a pastor.
Grandson on the Farm by S.R. Lee. Quicksilver flashing in little sport shoes toward the barn with its tractor, its hay bales, its tools, small boy disappearing behind the tall door, where Grandpa is waiting with tool-using law. So what if the tall grass will get his shoes wet? He's finished his breakfast. He's ready to jet right on down to the garden or fields or the cart, where he can help Grandpa, or fast as a dart, be off to see horses or rocks in the creek. Or Grandma, run fast, or you'll play hide and seek. But what he loves best is real work on the farm, with his Grandpa to help and to keep him from harm by Grandma.
Never-Ending Ambition by Nethraja Jr. This was written when she was 16 years old. Neth's alarm goes off and she gets up too fast, hitting her head on the bed's mast. Her eyes aren't shut, but her vision is blurry. She looks at the clock and gets ready in a hurry. It's 9:30 and she's already late for class. She walks in and they're talking about molecular mass. The whole day is full of never-ending speeches. Her only time in peace is studying under some beeches. She has no time to have fun today. Even if she did, it's only going to the cafe. She goes back to the dorm to study for a test, knowing that tonight she will get no rest. She reflects and sees how serious she has become, how all her other thoughts are now just a hum. Nothing matters to her now except her future. She closes all of her emotional wounds with a suture. Becoming a pediatrician is all she cares about. To that dream, she has become devout. Happiness isn't even close to how she feels, for her emotions are something she never reveals. Stressed out by the life she chose, after it's all over, she will be in a state of repose. But the fulfillment of the job will do some good, and maybe then she will be understood. For she misses all of her friends and how their friendship never expends. To see them smile and laugh would give her great pleasure. At least that's something that she could treasure. It would give her enough happiness for a lifetime even, or maybe just give her something to believe in.
The next poem Contentment by Louise Colln. Don't say I cook your eggs precisely the way you like them and leave the funnies on the table, not teasing that you like to read them first through years of Sunday breakfasts. Don't say my thoughts and yours blend or blast but never bore. Don't say my evening love leaves you happy. Just say you love me, saying it all.
I wrote the next poem, and it's called The Black Ant. We see it almost at the same time, a tiny black carpenter ant on our dead uncle's white suit. Your eyes widen with a strange mix of horror and amusement, as if you can't decide whether to laugh or cry. It's always hard at times like these, when emotion hovers between extremes. That's why the family put out all those pictures on either side of the casket, ludicrous poses, funny faces, sideways hats and tongues sticking out. They want us to laugh, but to have enough sense to cry at the right time. It's no wonder, with these confusing points of etiquette, that we stare at the ant as it makes its way up the lapel and around the collar, both of us willing the other to do something before it disappears around our uncle's neck. Perhaps because you're the oldest and are used to such responsibility, you lean into the slick black marble casket, holding your breath, wrinkling your nose, mumbling a rigid curse at the funeral director's lack of decorum, pinch the ant between forefinger and thumb, crumble it, crumb-like, to the floor. We tell each other it came from one of the plants, but we know the ant was doing what ants do, dragging death away straight through the living, even as death poses huge and incalculable. We try not to feel so small.
The next poem is titled Talking to Ghosts by L.E. Ellis. Talking to Ghosts. What stories could your old bones tell me from beneath these stones? Who were you when once you walked? Who were you when once you talked? If you are someplace else now, where? Are you the only ones there? Years of rain erased your names, and so your stories too will fade, unless you have all something to say, if one can speak beyond the grave. Tell of your dreams, your fears, regrets, or else the world will soon forget. But you, young ghost, your name I still remember, how it still hurts to remember. You have no more worries now, sleeping far beneath the ground or soaring high above the clouds. But we must live without you. How? How could you be so damn cruel? Forgive me, but you were a fool. Or to think that no one could love you, should love you, would love you. Or was my love just not enough? Or had you simply had enough? You could have told me. I would have listened. But you just smiled. You hid your cuts and hid your tears. For how long? Days, months, years? You should have told me. I would have listened. But you just smiled. I hope you are smiling now. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you will join us again soon.